Did you know fragrance has been used by humans longer than you would actually probably think? It was used for many different reasons. It could have been religious purposes, medical uses, and later it became a symbol of status and personal expression. Today, perfume is often seen as fashion or luxury, but the history of fragrance is much older and much more practical. Today, I'll be telling y'all about the history of fragrance from ancient civilizations to modern perfumery. The earliest record used of fragrance dates back to ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt, over 4,000 years ago. In these societies, fragrance was closely connected to religion. In Mesopotamia, people burned incense made from resin and woods during rituals. These materials were often some sort of the earliest record of aromatic substances. In ancient Egypt, fragrance played a major role in both daily life and spiritual practice. Egyptians used oils, ointments, and incense made from ingredients like myrrh, frankincense, and lilies. Fragrance were also used in temples as offerings to the gods and in burial practices. But why? Well, fragrance and scented materials were placed in tombs because they believed scents helped in the afterlife. Egyptians also developed early forms of perfume oil for personal use. These were made by infusing oils with flowers, herbs, and resin. One well-known figure associated with fragrance during ancient Egypt was Cleopatra, who used scented oils as part of her public image and political presence. At this stage in history, fragrance was not so much a product of fashion, it was primarily religious and cultural use. The use of fragrance spread from Egypt into Greece and Rome next. In ancient Greece, perfume became more connected to daily life. Greeks used scented oils on the body after bathing and during athletic competition, but perfume was still being used in religious offerings. But that's not the end. The Greek traders then expanded the use of aromatic oils across the Mediterranean region. Now, guess where we're going to mention next? Of course, the Romans, because all roads lead back to the Romans. That was supposed to be funny. I don't know why I said that. The Romans later adopted and expanded these practices significantly. In ancient Rome, fragrance became widely used in public and private life. It was used in bathhouses, homes, clothing, and even fountains. Wealthy Romans often had access to multiple scents throughout the day. But perfume also became a symbol of social status. Expensive imported ingredients signaled wealth and influence. However, not all Romans approved of excessive fragrance use. Some writers criticized it as a sign of luxury and excess. Despite that, fragrance remained deeply embedded in Roman culture, and trade networks helped spread across aromatic materials from Europe and Asia. Now the Islamic Golden Age, roughly between 8th and the 13th century. During this period, scholars and scientists made important advancements in chemistry and medicine, including perfume production. One of the most important developments was the refinement of distillation techniques. This allowed for extractions of the essential oils from flowers and plants to be a more precise way than earlier methods. Persian and Arab scientists improved equipment such as the alembic still, which is still the basis of modern distillation. A key figure associated with this period is the Persian scientist Avicenna, who is often credited with improving the process of extracting rosewater through distillation. Rosewater became one of the most widely produced and traded fragrance products of the time. Fragrance during this period was used for both personal scent and medical purposes. It was also widely traded along routes such as the Silk Road. This period helped shift fragrance from ritual and luxury into a more structured science. By the Middle Ages and Renaissance, fragrance use in Europe had expanded, though its purpose was different from earlier civilizations. During this time, sanitation standards were low in many European cities. Fragrance was often used to mask unpleasant odors rather than for pleasure. Perfumed oils, herbs, and incense were used in homes, clothing, and public spaces. By the Renaissance period, perfume became more closely associated with royalty and the elites. In Italy and later France became major centers for perfume productions. Skilled artisans created custom scents for wealthy clients and royal courts. Grasse, a region in southern France, became especially important due to its climate, which was ideal for growing flowers used in perfumery such as jasmine, rose, and lavender. Perfumed gloves, powders, and oils became popular among European nobility. At this point in history, fragrance was strongly linked to status, hygiene, and fashion. The modern perfume industry began to take shape in the 19th century. A major development was the use of synthetic aromatic compounds. These allowed perfumers to recreate natural scents, but also create entirely new ones that did not exist in nature. This significantly expanded the possibilities of fragrance creation. In 1921, the launch of Chanel No. 5 marked a major milestone in modern perfumery. It was one of the first perfumes to heavily use synthetic aldehydes, creating a new style of scent that was abstract rather than purely floral or natural. During the 20th century, major fashion houses such as Dior and Estee Lauder helped establish perfume as a global luxury product. Perfumes also became strongly connected to branding and identity. It was no longer about scent, but about image, lifestyle, and marketing. Professional perfumers, often called noses, were trained to combine ingredients with precision, sometimes working with hundreds of materials. Modern fragrance production truly became a combination of art and chemistry with industry. Today, the fragrance industry continues to evolve. There's a growing interest in niche perfumery where smaller brands focus on unique artistic scents rather than just mass production. Consumers are also increasingly interested in customization, stabilization, and natural ingredients. Advancements in chemistry and technology allow for more precise formulations, and digital tools are beginning to influence how fragrances are developed and marketed. Despite these changes, the core purpose of fragrance remains consistent throughout history. It has always been used to influence how people experience themselves and the world around them and what they see will happen. From ancient rituals to modern personal expression, fragrance has remained a part of human culture for thousands of years. If you want us to go into more detail on a specific time period, let us know in the comments below, and always keep us updated on what new scents you're exploring and let us know about them. And as always, I love you and bye my scent babies!